Oh, did you pray for me? Oh, that's good. Thank God. Amen.
Let me pray. Let me pray for you. As you demand for prayer, let me pray for you.
Okay, thank you
I pray
very
for
much.
you in the name of Jesus Christ.
Thank you very much for the
As you
prayer.
obey my voice on the phone, may the power of Jesus Christ touch you everywhere you are. And may the grace of Christ flush away every disappointment and failures out of your business in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I declare you free in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And may your ways be clear. I declare you free. Today, Sunday, which is the day that Jesus Christ of Nazareth has resurrected, I declare may the resurrecting power of Christ.
What religion are you, Digo? Are you a Catholic? Are you?
Amen.
Are you a Catholic, Digo?
Pardon?
Are you a Catholic?
No, I'm a charismatic member.
Okay. Thank God. Amen.
I'm a charismatic, and then I am a pastor too.
Oh, I see. Okay, you have been asking.
The picture I sent to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
The picture I sent to you. Watch the blue top. The picture I sent to you yesterday. Watch the blue top. You see, it's a clergy wear. I only didn't fix the white at my neck, the clerical. I didn't fix the clerical. But I watch the clothes, and you see it's a clergy top.
Okay, this morning, you asked me about brinks, right?
Sure.
So your buyer asking to buy gold, but he's using brinks. Is that right?
Yes, brinks.
Okay.
Want to know the full procedure of brinks.
Okay.
Because they will not be able to come to Africa physically. So he wants to know exactly the procedure.
Okay.
So if you explain, then I will let him have it.
I will explain to you. In Conakry, there is brinks, right? Brinks is a subcontract of the main brinks. They are there for business. They are a subcontract. Now, I did make a phone calls to brinks in Conakry because I know Conakry. I've been to Conakry several times. What did David was saying to me that we are going to handle the shipment, and he is going to come to the office of my seller once the buyer and the seller sign a contract. So Brinks is not responsible for the gold. Brinks is only going to pick up the gold at the central bank when the gold is fully paid by the buyer to the seller's bank account. Now the Brinks is the same office in the same street in Kalum, because the central bank is in Kalum, and the Brinks is, I think, 80 meters away from the central bank. So what the manager was telling me, that when the buyer use their services, they will be charged the shipping cost and insurance. So the buyer has to sign a contract. The buyer has to place an order. In order for us to know the buyer's credibility, and we have to send him a contract. But before we going to send him a contract, he has to place an order. Order means he has to send a letter of intent, because we have to confirm his order. We cannot just do it what you have done before. That's not the way we do business. Our business is really properly followed by the head office policy. The buyer has to identify himself. The buyer has to send an LOI, means letter of intent to purchase, coming from the buyer. Then that is the time we respond to the buyer. I myself will screen the buyer. I myself will request the buyer to send us a copy of his business registration, a copy of his passport, and the proof upon his bank statement that he has available fund in his bank account is standby. Yes, because the payment would be bank to bank, from the buyer's account to the seller's account. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any question, Diego?
So now, what I want to know is, when you finish screening the buyer, because that is after the buyer places an order, you're going to screen, as you just said.
Yes.
You are going to screen the buyer.
Yes.
The money for certificate of registration and business operation, international ID, and that's the passport and other necessary documents, and then a bank statement of the buyer.
Correct.
For you to confirm there is a funds in a buyer's account, since the transaction is going to take place bank to bank. So,
that's correct.
It's clear to me. Now, I want to know, after you finish screening the buyer, what is the next step?
Well, we send them a contract and we will send the buyer a letter of acknowledgement, and we will send the buyer an export license of the seller and the mining license of the seller.
Okay.
The contract would be specified, like, for example, you are a buyer, Diego, all right? And you send me an LOI that you are going to purchase. There, Wilhelmina, I saw your full corporate offer online. I am the buyer, Wilhelmina. This is my order. 10 kilos to start with. I'm looking for 22.54 equal 23 carats. I'm looking for 96, 97 purity. Okay, the mode of payment is F.O.B. So we will specify that on our letter of acceptance. Then the buyer will receive everything from the head office, because I'm going to advise the head office that I have validated the buyer. Yes.
Okay.
So you're satisfied that?
Yeah. There is, you know, I want to find out also from you that you said after the buyer sends, still at the screening level, after the buyer gives you certificate of registration and other stuff, including bank statements, thereafter you're going to send the sellers, it is after that, if you are satisfied, and you issue certificate, acknowledgement letter to the buyer, acknowledging the receipt of his documents, and telling him you are ready to continue. Before you now issue the buyer, there's the seller's gold license and other official documents.
Correct.
I want to know most of the buyers, because I'm talking on behalf now on all the buyers.
Okay.
Because you know, on this method, most of the buyers, they would like even to know, since the bank statement is coming in here for the screening, the person would definitely like to know if he is dealing with a gold seller, real gold seller, before issuing a bank statement. So don't you think that the issue of giving the buyer the official gold license of the seller for verification should be done first before you people requesting for the bank statement for verification and authenticity?
Okay, that's a very good question, Diego. First of all, when I receive the LOI, I have to review that, and I have to call the buyer. I have to interview the buyer on video call, right? Including you, because I want to see the buyer, whether he is a buyer or not. So then I will send it to the head office. I will advise the head office to proceed, right? So then the head office will send the buyer a letter of acceptance of his order, right? So then the buyer will receive it, and the buyer start to communicate. So I'm going to gather the buyer's vital information in order for us to put that on the contract. So when we're going to send the contract to your buyer, the buyer has to review the contract. He has to review it. He can adjust the contract. He can amend the contract, because the contract, it would say subject for inspection, right? And you have to travel with your buyer, and I would like to advise you that the buyer, for example, the gold to be delivered in Dubai, right? Okay, assuming you're gonna travel, him and you, one has to stay in Conakry in order to supervise, because I have an issue. I have an issue 3 months ago. And I have 3 sellers in Conakry, and one seller I'm about to fire. Right, because even though I know my seller, my transaction was successful, the son and the shipper did not comply properly. So the gold was sent to Dubai, and the custom in Dubai questioned where is the certificate of clearance and certificate of insurance. So my head office failed to do so, and the gold was being confiscated. Yes. So you need to be careful because Dubai now is getting strict. Yeah. So that is the reason why I need to travel with the buyer, because I need to make sure that everything is properly ironed. If I am not around with the buyer, I wouldn't be able to fix it because I'm too far. Now, if you're gonna travel with a buyer, that is fine, but you need to be vigilant. Yes, you know your fellow African. You know that your Africans are fickle-minded. Yeah, you know that. I have the seller in Sierra Leone that his friend, okay, lost 120 kilos in Dubai. Oh yeah. my seller in Sierra Leone asked me for help. I said no, I cannot. And I told my seller, what happened? Did you sell it? And no, my friend, and I think an Indian, came to Sierra Leone and he did pay taxes. Yes, and 120 kilos, it's already $1 million, more than $1 million. 50,000 times 120 kilos, that is $6 million. So when the gold arrived in custom in Dubai, the custom seized the gold. It was declared as smuggled. Yes. When the paperwork is not complete, you are considered as a smuggler. Yes. Yes.
So even Africa here, in my country, the same thing.
See?
Once you do not have a genuine document or a complete document, you can't. That's why most of the people, when you ask them to come to do assay in Gold Coast refinery in Ghana, they will never come, because Gold Coast, if you are not ready with full documentation, you can't step there. When you step there, your gold will be seized.
Correct. The same is in Conakry. Even my buyer from Korea, now I've been working for 3 months to replace the gold, because the gold was being confiscated. And the buyer didn't understand. And the buyer said, oh, I was being scammed. No, you were not being scammed. Carelessness. Carelessness is the failure. That is why I'm going to fire my seller. I've given my seller an extension until next week. And if he cannot comply, he cannot replace, I'm going to announce and he's going to fire. He's going to be fired. Yes. That is why people doesn't like my guts, because I'm very brutal. Yes. I'm very brutal.
I see.
People say, oh, Wilhelmina is a scammer. I don't know how much I scammed them. I didn't receive any single cent from this bloody Korean buyer. And I spend long distance. He doesn't even appreciate. See?
What I think, I don't know. I wish for your business, the way you run it, as I always say, to me is the best. And I wish you have an office in Africa. When you have your own office in Africa, first, that's a mandate office of all the gold sellers that you have in your custody. I think you're gonna do much. You're gonna do a lot.
No, my services is different. I work for the seller. I work for the office.
I know.
I am the extension.
You are a mandate.
I am my mandate is different from other people. I am my office is online. I'm the one who will receive the order. I'm the one. I'm the one. Yes. I'm the one who will receive the order. People come to Wilhelmina, right? Maybe most of you guys misunderstood my position. My position is completely different. I was the one who introduced this. I patterned the way we Australians selling products online. I've been in real estate. I've been top salesperson in real estate. So when I went to Ghana 2014 and 13, I discovered that Africa is behind. I discovered it. So I educate the seller. Yes. That is why this is my office. You can see my office. I am live with you. Right.
Yes.
So people are scared with Wilhelmina. The joker buyer, they're scared to open their camera. They're scared to open their face. They are crooks.
I see.
They don't like me. I was being attacked in LinkedIn and I was being blocked that I'm scammer. I don't know how much I scammed them. I have no idea.
Yeah, because I know one thing I know, scammers do not come on camera. They don't open cameras.
Exactly, they're scared.
And you call them on camera, they will never pick your calls through.
Yeah. So, they're gonna make an alibi. Oh, my. They're gonna say, oh, my camera is not working. Bloody hell, don't come to Wilhelmina because I'm going to reject you. Yeah, I saw you already. You open your camera. You are a real person. Yes.
Yes, this is Don Diego actually. I see.
So Wilhelmina is always alive. Can you see that? Wilhelmina is everywhere. That is the reason why the head office loves me. I am the one who will determine which seller I'm going to put the buyer. I am the one. When I interview the buyer, when I receive the LOI, I will determine whether I'm going to put you to Conakry or I'm going to put you to Mali or I'm going to put you to Sierra Leone. But I have to be with the buyer.
Okay. Okay.
I think you read my... yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to find out that now after screening the buyer and the buyer qualified, when I talk about the screening, you told me about the screening already, about the bank statement, everything, after verification, it is genuine. And now you said you're going to write an acknowledgement letter to the buyer accepting his offer that he wants to buy from you people.
Correct.
Now, after this, what is the next step?
Then the head office will issue the landing visa as the company guest. We will invite the buyer and he would be welcome and his order is waiting in the office. The buyer can bring his gold taster and he likes it. Then the gold will be proceed to central bank if he want to buy Conakry because Conakry has a brinks. Yeah.
I see. So it means the buyer must already have had a contract with drinks before contacting you.
No, the buyer has to sign a contract with the owner of the gold. Yes.
Yeah, but here is the case. You are going. The drinks is the shipper.
That's correct.
Drinks is the shipper. So don't you think the buyer is supposed to have an account with Brinks?
Yes, according to David, yes, the buyer will be charged of 1,600. Yes.
Okay.
You have to open an account because you are going to use their services. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now, when you see, which means that once you confirm he has the money in his account based on his current bank statement or the tier sheet.
Yes.
Once you look at the tier sheet and it's okay, it means it is not going to pay any money for you to deliver the goods, or how is the payment going to be done?
Well, the payment must be bank to bank.
Yes, I know. You see, it is the buyer Now you have confirmed the buyer and you see his account balance and his genuine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the question is Greens going to ship the gold to the buyer and finish the process before the buyer releases the payment to the seller, or the seller has to pay first before the goods are delivered? That's what I want.
Well, the buyer has to pay the gold first, and then the buyer has to coordinate with the brinks. I will give you the brinks site, and you can view that. All right, and then you can open an account to brinks. According to brinks in Conakry says, when the gold will be picked up by brinks, they will keep it on their vault. Okay, and I said to myself, very very suspicious, because the gold, once the gold bring to central bank, would not take out of the building. Why? Their policy is like this: once the gold stays at the central bank, the seller is preparing for export documentation, and then when export documentation would be ready, then that is the time the gold will be handed over to brinks, and the brinks can come to central bank to pick it up. Yes.
I see. I see.
That is the reason why there's so many buyers fail. And then when they come to me, they blame me. Don't blame me because I am not a babysitter. That is the reason why I interview you, so that the buyer can hear our conversation, so that he would understand.
Okay.
Because there are so many buyers are naive. So many buyers. I'll give you an example. I purchased goods to send it overseas. I was using DHL. Brinks and DHL are all the same. They are the shipping agent. So I brought my goods, right? And DHL, they opened my box to inspect. Because I did send medicine to Africa because my driver was in the hospital. So I did send a medicine. Every item was scrutinized by DHL. Oh yeah. So then, whatever the value of my package, sent it to Conakry because my personal driver was almost killed himself. He has a malaria and he needs an operation. So I did send him money to save his life. So I did send him medicine because, you know, in Guinea, the medicine is not good. Whatever I spend for the goods, for the medicine, I spent 250. The shipping cost, it also cost 250 plus the insurance.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Buying gold exactly the same. Yes. So most of the broker and the buyer have no idea. My husband was saying, too expensive. It's okay. Because I want to save my personal driver. He was with me and he looked after me. If I did not help him, he gonna die. Yeah. Because he has an appendicitis at the same time. I paid his hospital bills. Yeah. Where you gonna find an Australian paying the bills of an African? Yeah. Where? And my personal driver, his boss, the company that I'm going to fire next week, he didn't even bother to save this driver. And this driver working for the company for 8 bloody years. Oh yeah. And his younger brother called me and he was crying to save his elder brother. But I know him because he was with me all the time. I sent him money to buy food and medicine. Now he's happy. He's alive.
Amen. Thank God.
Yeah, you know what he told me? Of all white people, you are the best. You are the best. You saved my life.
It's true. Because, you see, I always tell people, well, there are people you may meet in life. Some of them are blessings when you meet them.
Exactly.
I know some white people. Yes. I personally know many white people around, and I realize actually few of them are very good. They are very soft. When they are talking even to you, you see some sort of love in their talk.
Yeah.
Because those days, white people used to help Africans. But of late, I studied the system and I read that such things is very scarce now, simply because some of our guys who are in Africa, they are taking advantage of the whites. And it's those people who have been helping them. Now they misuse it, they abuse all this system. So now, for you to get somebody either in Africa helping a white person or white person helping an African is never common anymore.
You know what, Diego? My personal driver and the chaperone, I took them for shopping. And I told him, okay, I'll take you for shopping. I will spend, well, what is $150 each? And I told him, pick what you want. And then bring that to your family. That's why they called me Mother of Gold. Mother of Gold. And then those people who blogged me, my gosh, they're all crooks. Yeah. Yeah, I've been looked after when I was in Conakry. Yeah. Now I'm going to travel to Mali, Diego. That is why if your buyer wanted Conakry, take advantage because I'm traveling to Mali. Because I'm working for the 9 tons of gold. I have a big buyer, so I told him, don't travel without Wilhelmina. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to call him just after we finish the call in the evening because I messaged him. He said I should I should talk to him. So in the evening, I will send information, everything to him, and then I'll see his response.
Our conversation, I would be upload this one on my Facebook and on my YouTube channel so that those buyers that have a difficulty on getting gold, please read the full corporate offer because this is for the benefit for everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yes, I will give you a copy of when I upload this on my YouTube channel on my Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So that he can hear himself and understand clearly directly from you.
Exactly.
Once he's ready to speak with you, I get you connected to talk to him directly.
Yeah. On every video, Diego, the full corporate offer is there. He can choose whether he wanted to travel to Mali, Conakry, Sierra Leone. I'm gonna put everything very, very extensively. And I don't want anybody to rush because this is $1 million. A minute you made a mistake, that's over. I have an issue right now to fix. For 3 months, I've been working because the shipper did not complete the export documentation. So the seller is losing because the 4 kilos has been confiscated, and the seller sent his representative, and his representative was been arrested. The gold was sent to Dubai and diverted to Morocco. And then the Morocco custom says, where is the certificate? Exactly the same was in Dubai. Because they thought they can divert it to Morocco, and the seller sent the representative, and the representative was being arrested as a smuggler.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. And the buyer will be putting pressure on the seller. The buyer will be putting pressure.
Yes, the buyer putting pressure on the seller that the buyer did not even pay my work.
Oh my God. It's because he has not received the goods. That's why. He's going to pay you once he gets everything. That's what most of them do.
Yeah, that is the reason why I told everyone read, because I'm not a babysitter. Yeah.
Yeah. No problem at all.
While ago, I have a big argument with this bloody Indian or Pakistani on the group. I told him read.
One thing I know about the Indians is most of the times they like buying 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars. That's what they normally buy. 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars. But when you talk about the Arabs, which is the people from the Emirates, they buy in bulk 50 kilos, 100 kilos, and also. But for Indians, we have a lot of Indians around, move them, and they are just, they come and buy just 1 bar, and they go away.
The reason why they want to buy one bar, because they are going to show it to their buyer. They are going to show it to their buyer, and then they will ask money to put into their bank account. I've been to Dubai. I interviewed 8 of them. Right. And out of 8 of them, they didn't meet the criteria. Why? They're asking CIF. I said, good luck. I told them, do you understand the meaning of CIF? CIF means cost, insurance, and freight only. That is normal. You have to pay the shipping cost. That is normal. You have to pay the insurance. You have to pay the gold before the gold leave the country of origin. My buyer in Korea, Digo, he's a real buyer. He did pay, but my seller used the shipper, which the shipper didn't comply properly, didn't prepare the export documentation, right? And the gold has been confiscated. The buyer from Korea is real. He did pay cash. Yeah. Now the buyer is angry. Yes. Yeah.
I told you yesterday. You remember? I told you I have my boss in Sierra Leone. You remember?
Yes.
Very good. I messaged him yesterday that someone wanted to talk to him. But he told me he was at a meeting and he'll get back to me. But if not so, then we should make it either today or tomorrow, Monday.
Well, when I travel, I will travel again. I will visit all of my seller. I will visit Sierra Leone and Conakry again. But my trip would be in Mali. Once the international flight would be open, I will fly to Mali with 2 buyers. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
But you must remember, Digo, when I travel with the buyer, my services is no longer for free.
Okay.
I do charge my extra service. I do.
Okay.
Did you read the procedure? It says, do not travel without Wilhelmina. I do charge my extra service. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah, that is even cool. No, after this call, before I'm going to read all those things.
Better read it.
After this, I'm going to read all those things that you just said.
Yes. Because very, very important. You must remember, your buyer is buying $1 million. And if he made a mistake, that is over. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is extra service? It's peanuts for the buyer if the buyer has $1 million. That is peanuts. Yeah.
Yes.
To me, when I buy, when I'm happy with the services, I make a tip. I give tip because I'm happy for the services. Now, if the buyer is using my services, the buyer has to pay for it. If he cannot afford, he can travel by himself. But if there is an issue, don't come back to Wilhelmina. Do not. Because I won't be there to fix the issue. I wouldn't be there. And when I get angry, I scolded my seller. I was screaming in the office. Yes. You know, my language is not very good when I get angry. That's why my seller said, oh, Mrs. Ford is angry already. My language is not very good. My language is very colorful. Yeah. You know, when I was in Ghana 2013, and I scolded my seller, I said, bloody hell, you bloody idiot. You know what he said? Madam, are you insulting me? I said, yes, I am. I am. Bloody hell, you're bloody idiot. That is why the buyer are scared to trust you guys. This is what I told them when I was in Ghana. See? I'm very tough, Digo. I'm very tough. And if buyer doesn't like it, well, that is for the buyer's benefit. I'm helping the buyer here. And the seller.
Yeah. No, it's good because one thing is for you to deal in metal business, you need to be tough.
Exactly.
You need to be tough. So it's not something. This business is for high cost are people who are serious. These are for dons and mafias. So it's not something you go and be laughing to somebody. No, it's for serious business people.
There's so many crooks in this business. There's so many mafia in this business. So many. There's so many smuggler. If they want to cut corner, and then when they lose money, they blame Africa as a scammer. They are one of the scammer as well. Why you cut corner?
As I keep telling people, the word scam comes from outside the country. The scam is not our language in Africa. Africans, we speak different languages. We don't know what is scam.
Scam means scam means dishonest. Dishonest. The seller is dishonest. The buyer also dishonest himself, because the seller wanted to sell very quick. Relax. I always tell my seller, relax. This is $1 million. Relax. Take it easy. So I know how to handle buyers.
Currently, there is a deal that we want to do, but this one is not about gold. It's about BTC, and it is a 7-month transaction that we want to do. But I'm talking to you, the transaction is almost 2 months, and we've just gotten to a place where we're supposed to just run off, and our colleagues in London, they are relaxing, and then one of them told me yesterday, I don't remember, even though it is supposed to be done in 7 days, we decided to do it 2-3 months. We don't care, because we are talking about millions and billions.
Correct.
So we want to go through all the channels and the procedures and everything, so that after we finish, nobody has any problem.
Exactly.
But the fact is that as for their side, when they talked to me yesterday, on their side, I personally do not blame them, simply because, number one, they don't know about financing. Me personally, I study finance in school, and I'm practically into it.
I don't deal that one. That's too messy. If you have the money, you buy, and then you increase your business. I'll give you an example. I have a buyer from Hong Kong. They wanted the big quantity, not tons, and I told him, relax. I want you to start a trial. I want you to build the business relationship with my head office in Mali. Mali have 9 tons. Okay? I told him, Mali has 9 tons. I want you to travel. So the contract was been translated into Chinese. So I'm waiting for the contract to send it back to me. And you know what he said to me? You are the only person who can educate us. They were talking to a seller and the refinery in Ghana, but I would not mention their names. And the refinery, he knows me. And I said to this buyer, you tell that refinery, the owner, do you remember Mrs. Ford? You know what is the owner? And he said, yes, I met Mrs. Ford. Yes. Yeah. You know what the owner of the refinery was saying? Mrs. Ford is very tough. Yes. Yes.
You see, one thing is when you see anybody who talks to you will know you have practical experience in the go business.
Yes.
The way you're talking, you're not reading any book. You have not gone to any readings or writings or anything. You are just saying everything from your mouth, and it's wrong. So this shows you know exactly the levels and how this thing works successfully. Unlike people who are online for many years, 10 years, 15 years, and have never closed.
They haven't closed the deal. I'll tell you, Diego. I've been in marketing for 36 years, right? And I'm already semi-retired. And I'm the one who helped Africa. And buying and selling, Diego, exactly the same. You have to pay for it. There is no free lunch in this world. Remember the golden rules of buying this precious mineral. He who has the gold and diamond makes the rules. Who makes the rules? The government. Not me. So,
It's true.
So the buyer try to dictate, you have to follow the rules and regulations of the government because that is the property of a country. That those idiot thinking that, excuse my language, they think that Africa, they can get cheaper one. No, I just rejected the lady from Dubai. He's looking for cheap price. And I told her, good luck. Yeah.
Gold is not, the real gold is never sold cheap. That I told one guy from Iran. He told me he wanted gold that was selling at $35,000 per kilo.
No.
And I told him, if he continues to talk about this price, he will end up being scammed in Ghana or anywhere that he goes, because a genuine gold can never be sold at that price.
Exactly. So, nice talking to you, because I have so many people are queuing right now. And I'm going to give you this one, and then you let your buyer hear our conversation, because this is live. Okay?
Yeah.
This is live.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Diego. That
I'm going to
sorry.
to him and I'll get back.
Okay. I hope you're happy with your question, my answer to your question. I hope.
Very nice. Yes, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, thanks, Diego. Thank you very much, and have a nice morning. Now here in Australia, it's already Monday. In your end is Sunday. We are now on 12 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So I'm going to close now. You will see this on our conversation. You will see it on my YouTube channel and on Facebook. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good afternoon to you and good morning here in Australia.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
This is Ford.